All right, so I covered all the other agenda items. So let me use the remaining 25 minutes or so just playing with the ChatGPT, but our version of ChatGPT. So I think I showed this before, but as I said, I updated some of the settings last weekend. So I just want to kind of give you a brief demonstration of what I've changed. I think I can go through here. Yeah. So edit GPT. So so I'm not gonna change anything, but under configure setting is where I can show. So I guess I changed the format of the instructions a lot. So before it should say this GPT, it was like in third person, and it was that way because that's what when I was doing through the kind of this other menu, when I was doing through here, the automatically generated one did it that way. But I wondered if it would work better if this is written in second person. So I kind of rewrote it in second person. But most of the details are the same. I think I did add one thing. I got the idea seeing some of your interaction with the ChatGPT's learn and study mode. I thought I think it's pretty cool that it asks you to like answer a relatively short question. So I added that in the instructions. And the one thing I kind of had to test is if I tried to strengthen so that it won't give you the full answer right away. It was giving me full answer last couple weeks. So I tried to strengthen it a little bit. I think no, that's not. That's trying to limit its hallucination. And it was bringing up standard strategy too much in questions that had nothing to do with the Newton's law strategy. So I tried to reword it to see if it. But it won't be until we get to conservation of energy and momentum and I can fully test how well this works out. Because right now, as I'm gonna be asking you forced questions, it should be using standard strategy. So that's the change. And I did update the content of the lecture summaries. I added the lectures from the energy conservation of energy and momentum. That's the next unit. And I think next time I update this, I might try putting in some like table of content so that it can better reference lectures. So those are the updates I plan to make. So for today, so what I want to do is basically use this the same way I've been using ChatGPT before as a capable tutor, see how well it answers my questions, and using it as a tutor, I'm going to ask questions out of problem set 4. So let me access it as test student. I might have to unlock some things, and we are now in the part of the semester where unlocking things actually it doesn't take a lot because all the requirements they are like a view or they are mark things as done. So yeah, it's all unlocked through and I can do it. So yeah, let me start. So I probably should clear those. Those are old messages. Or I can just leave them. So by the way, if you ever wanted to access my open methods, messaging, or forum communication mechanisms, this is how you do it. You just click on these links and you can contact. So if you contact me via my open message, I get notification of that. I should be able to answer it like a Canvas message. And in fact, I'll reply via Canvas. The forums, I don't check it as often. I should definitely answer within the week. But if you need me to answer within 24 hours, use message, not forum. Okay, so let me maybe do a quick test of CoA Physics GPT by asking it this question and just making sure it doesn't, it's not answering the whole thing right away. Because as I do this, it should be asking me, what have you tried? Not, here are my T1, T2, T3. So just give it a try. Stop thinking. Longer for veterans. Okay, good. That's good. I don't know what it's actually doing behind the scenes, but so yeah, it should. So the free body diagram here that's useful is the free body diagram of the knot. You might draw free body diagram of this. All that gives you is T3 is equal to W. That people might have just guessed, like T3 is equal to 300 newtons. That's something that people can just guess. Does take a while. So during this part, I could either be silent, that'll help with the edit, or just continue talking. I do think I don't really want to cut out huge chunks of portion because this kind of weighting, I think that's kind of reflective of the user experience if you are using the class GPT as a tutor. And somehow, if the instructions are leading it to think for 5 minutes on a question you could have answered in 30 seconds, that's probably one of the things that I should address so that it doesn't do that. I think it's been thinking for a minute. It's how much longer it thinks. Yeah, 2 minutes. Maybe that's not so long. A real tutor might think, a human tutor might think about this long. Nice diagram. What have you tried so far? Okay, let's use now. This week, yeah, we've taught you standard strategies, so this is good. So yeah, it's citing the correct lecture. I think lecture 6 is that right? Yeah, I think lectures 4 and 5 were Newton's law. Yeah. Draw a free body diagram. Choose axis. That's okay enough for choice here. Resolve forces into component. Yeah, that I think is good. Those are the steps. T1 along the left cable 41. Yeah, this is that angle. So T2 along the right cable, right? Light traffic light itself. Yeah, this is kind of so simple that you could give the answer right away as a kind of starting place. So step 4. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a judgment to call on whether you stop here and then invite someone to do the step for themselves versus do this. Yeah. So let's say accept it as here. So here you solve for T1 and T2. So now you could using substitution try to solve this by hand. Totally fine. But let me imagine I'm a struggling student and maybe I remember there being some mention of Sage Math. So I find algebra difficult and I was hoping to learn how to use Sage cell that the professor mentioned. Can you help me with that? And generative AI is really good at coding. So I'm hoping none of the system instructions I did changed any of that. So Sage cell, roadmap to Sage. Yeah, that's the link. Yeah. So I'm just gonna if I click it, what will it do? Open link. Okay, I can put it on the side here. Maybe. Solve an algebraic equation. I skip that, don't need it, but you do need this kind of syntax. Values. So let's say you are reading this and you are trying to kind of adapt it to here. So you are writing var is equal to let's see, T1 and T2, T2 and T3, I guess. And then let's say you are looking at it and the changes, this is for one equation, now you have two equations, and let's say you don't want to read any documentation, so you do something like this, which is a good guess, but it's not going to be right. So you do minus T1 times cosine of, let's see, think trying to follow. Yeah, you see this times symbol. So let's say you are following that, you are not doing implicit multiplication. Now, one mistake you can make is entering angles in degrees. That won't work in Sage Math. But let me do it that way. Is equal to 0. And this is the syntax mistake that I'll make. So what I'm typing right now is not correct. It'll result in an error, I think. And when it results in an error, I'll ask ChatGPT, what did I do wrong? And then you solve for T1, T2, T3. Yeah, that'll also result in another error. So let's say you do this. I'm just gonna copy this into thing, evaluate, and I hope it'll complain. Let's see. Do I need to? Let's see if ChatGPT can figure out from here. I tried the following the example you gave me, and it didn't work. Now, if I just say this, then it won't be able to figure out anything. So you tell it what you did and some portion of the error message. Here, the error message isn't all that helpful, but the fact that it didn't work and this should be enough, because this I think as ChatGPT parses it, it can malform the list. Yeah. So you have to you have. Oh wow, it fixed everything. Oh wow. So read it carefully. The corrected one. Yeah, you have to enclose your equations into the bracket. This makes it a list. You can do line breaks if it helps you to like readability. You don't have to. And so let's say I wasn't reading all that carefully and I didn't enter this. Equations list, variables in a list. That part I don't think is necessary, but let's do it anyway. And angles in radians. Yeah, we need that. So times pi over 180 times pi over 180 times pi over 180 times pi over 180. Now it's still going to have an error or some sort of output that doesn't give us what we want. Let's see. Okay, I think I fixed them, but I can't make a sense of the output. I thought I should have a number I can plug in. And the reason is I didn't type in the equation number 3. You're solving for 3 unknowns. You need to have three equations. So you could put in T3 is equal to the value that you know it is 300, but if you keep T3 as symbol, then you need an equation specifying T3. Because without that treats one variable, it's free. And then did I leave another mistake in? Maybe not. It might give me exact results that I want to turn it into. If you want decimal numbers, that's actually good. You just wrap it with a hand. Okay. Okay. It anticipated my question, so guess this is one way to do it. So all is equal to that, and then it does. So this is Python. What is it? I forgot the name for it. It's a iterable sequence. If you follow it, then it'll work. Actually, will it work? It might not work. Yeah. It doesn't work because these expressions you have, they are. It's an equation. So right hand side will have numbers that you can put through n, but the left hand side has symbols that won't work. So let's do it this way. I do want the decimal approximation and use the code you gave me, but it didn't work. I wonder if it'll tell me you have to do the right hand side. In previous semesters, it looked like it was using a version of SageMath / Python syntax that might be slightly out of date with the dict true keyword. Because if you get this result in a dictionary form, then there's a way to do it more cleanly. Here, the easier one would be to do just extract the right hand side. Although then, I guess maybe like this. If you do it like this, then I think you should be able to see it. List object has no list object. Let me check. Oh, there's a bunch of issues. One is this is a nested list, so you really need to just get the first list, and then yeah, then you should be able to do this. Yeah, but now I don't know if ChatGPT will get to this solution. One, you might not know that that solution is a nested list. Let's see. Did I ever give it the solution? No, I've given it that it's a nested solution. It never got me out of that nested list. List of solution sets, yeah. Solution dictionary. This hasn't worked in the. Actually, that might work. Index into first and the only. Yeah, that's the way I go usually. Yeah, I think this will actually work. So if you that solution, then so if you do if you might recognize doing this is equivalent to having done this. So I get Sol, and here what we would do is yeah, I think I can just follow that equation right hand side, and for equation in Sol, here in my version Sol is same as Sol 0 there, so this should work. So you get 3 numbers, and if you get the sense that they are in the order of T1, T2, T3 the way you specified, then that should be enough. For clean printing, yeah, okay. So yeah, that's so you know, if you need help with the SageMath, that's like one tutor who can help with the both. Sometimes it'll give you a code that won't work, so you know, interact until it gives you a code you want. And you know, I think your goal really should be to learn as it gives this course that works. If it works, then try to understand the syntax so that next time you have to do the exact same thing, you don't have to ask ChatGPT. You can just do it on your own. All right, we probably have enough time for one more substantive question if I don't waste too much time. So let's go find that. Let's see. Let me ask this question. So this is one of the questions I like asking students in the required one-on-one meeting, because there's a follow-up question that I can ask that that I hope isn't too demanding, in the sense that I'm not asking you something that's totally new that you are not expected to know. And it's a legitimate physics question. So reading this question, let's say someone who's studied and you kind of you know how to draw free body diagram, and so you draw here some mass, floor of it's accelerating downward at 1.3 meter per second squared. So you draw forces, the downward mg, and you realize, oh, there's a normal force, upward n, and you write down Newton's second law. Net force is, let me actually write it over here, different color. Net force is equal to downward, same as acceleration, mg, that's the positive, minus the upward, and that's the negative, is equal to ma. You solve it for n, you get, I'm gonna just do it in my head, so g minus a is equal to, and you plug the numbers into calculator. I think I do need a calculator. Mass 10.5 times 9.8 minus 1.3, 89.25. And you get the right answer, which, you know, all fine. And, this is a question I want you to ask ChatGPT. So you get the right answer, and it's a matter of there's a follow-up question that in the required one-on-one meeting that I would ask you if you got to this point pretty easily, and there's a particular response I'm looking for. Let's see if CoA physics gives you that response. No, this is good. I have a different question. So I thought this question was easy, and I got the correct answer, but when I did it in front of my instructor, he keeps telling me my reasoning is wrong, and refuses to explain. Now that won't ever happen. I will eventually explain. Can you help me? I mean, you know, I do wish everyone would just give the right answer right away, but after a few back and forth, if you don't have the right answer, at the end I will explain. I don't think I've ever kind of stopped the required one-on-one meeting for someone not being able to explain why this n is not the quite right n. You need an additional step to correctly answer the question that's actually being asked here. So I think in the situations where someone couldn't get to that Newton's third law explanation, I do just, you know, give the answer and then we move on to a new question. Because in the required one-on-one meeting, it's never about any one single question. It's about a series of questions. And if any one question is really difficult, you can skip. You know, it's not like that derails the entire meeting. So first, N is the force the floor exerts on the garbage. It's asking for the force the garbage exerts on the floor. So by Newton's third law, the force, So that's reasoning is wrong. That's fine. I can infer. I think that's fine. If you show the free body diagram. Oh wait, let me just read it more carefully. Okay. G accelerations inside and verbally weight minus free body diagram, declare the positive direction you're airtight, elevator or the rest. So it did mention this, but let's say as I'm reading through it, I missed it. I don't think either of the bullet points are the reason the instructor said my reasoning is wrong, but he kept saying that's not what the question asks. Again, in the meeting, I wouldn't be so cryptic. I mean, I might be cryptic initially, but after back and forth, if my cryptic hints are not getting us anywhere, then I will explain. Yeah, which body the force is on. Yeah. So let's have normal force on the garbage by the floor. Yeah. The question literally asks for the force on the garbage, force of garbage exerts on the floor. So you have to explicitly invoke Newton's third law to justify. Yeah, that's correct answer. Yeah. All right. So I think that's all the time we have. No, I think I'm good. I think he got frustrated on the third law point. Thank you. And as I said, I think last week, third law is the most misunderstood, misused law of Newton's laws of motion. So